Um, let me share my screen with you.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arshad. First of all, I would like to congratulate you on continuity of this summit. It's the third summit that you are conducting. It's really fruitful activity, and the efforts that you are doing behind this are appreciable. It is my pleasure to be here with you another time with you to talk about some of the interesting things. So today, what I am going to discuss in my talk is artificial intelligence in psychology, its application and some implications. And in this talk, what we are going to discuss is there are a few things we will discuss about. First of all, I will briefly discuss some commonalities between artificial intelligence and psychology, and then we will discuss some examples of AI use that is currently applied in psychology. Some AI use in psychological testing, and then AI and cognitive psychology. These are the various domains that share some common interest with artificial intelligence. We will, at the end, we will discuss some AI-based psychology apps that are currently in use, and people are getting benefited from these apps. I will also talk about some career opportunities for those who are interested in AI and psychology. There are some degree programs that are developed particularly for people who have a common interest in AI and psychology. Starting with my talk about AI and psychology, while we discuss about artificial intelligence, we definitely need to know what intelligence is. So intelligence, as all of we know, is a human capability. And what is that capability? It is actually something that we, it's a capability or capacity, you may say, which help us to solve problems. Solving problem is intelligence. We use this term in our daily language for several things. For instance, for intelligence agencies, we also generally call word intelligence, but what they do is actually also they solve cases or solve some issues. So intelligence, when simulated in an artificial environment with machines, then it becomes artificial intelligence. Or in other words, this human capacity or capability, when replicated in machines, is artificial intelligence. One thing that is common between artificial intelligence and psychology is that of course, psychology talks a lot about intelligence. And if you look at the some earlier work on intelligence, is all basically done by psychologists. So there are theories of intelligence, and these theories are then help us to develop applications or develop some devices that can perform human brain like activities, human brain and human mind. So these are two distinctions that we make in psychology, that there is a physical thing that we see as brain that is there in our skull, and then we have the capacities that the capabilities that this physical brain performs are called human mind. So one of the common questions that is probably important for artificial intelligence as well as for psychology is the knowledge acquisition and its application. Historically, if we look at several history of psychology, we figure out that psychology has been striving for learning about acquisition of knowledge. While some theorists or philosophers discuss about divine nature of the knowledge, others talk about its learned nature, and then there are some others that talk about the that it's a biologically wired phenomena. If we look into further into the history of psychology, we figure out that there is a debate about information processing or knowledge for between two major groups that they call themselves as rationalist or empiricist. So rationalists are people who says or who argues that knowledge is acquired by logic. So you just discuss about things, you talk about things, you make some arguments, and you reach to some ultimate truth. Whereas empiricists believe that knowledge is something that we experience. So according to empiricists, um, like if we as adult we do not, for instance, we avoid hot surfaces or hot plates because we in our childhood we somehow learned that touching this hot surface may hurt us. So this empiricism and rationalism are the two approaches that are commonly discussed for knowledge acquisition and information processing. And information processing is actually the main phenomena behind artificial intelligence, or different application that we see today for artificial intelligence. If we look at the different applications that are in use, or that artificial intelligence is now part of our life for a couple of decades. It's not no more something new phenomena, but the early applications of artificial intelligence actually had not were not much complicated, or they just had like organization and processing of information that were given to the system. So like storing data, and then using that data, some rule-based logical arguments, using those rule-based arguments like calculations and stuff like that. So artificial intelligence, however, now is something more than just processing of information. As of today, we know advances in AI is is all about a capacity to learn things without being told to. And this is the capacity actually that we see in humans, that human can think, human can relate things, human can acquire new information, and then they can relate this information with their existing memory, with their experiences, the memory that they have with their experiences, and then they come up with something new. So this is how inventions or discoveries happens in humans' life, in the nature. And this kind of phenomena is now what we are trying to figure out in artificial intelligence. And as most of you are aware about the current use of artificial intelligence is almost taking or not taking over actually, but it's facilitating a lot in our life um, with this kind of ability that the AI is now able to learn without being explicitly told, or it only do not depend on the information that we feed into it, but it is able to now create information. Talking about AI and psychology, well, when we talk about psychology, most people think about all about psychology is something like mental health. Although there are 56 different major fields in psychology where we have expertise, like 56 divisions of psychologies are in action right now under the American Psychological Association, and they are facilitating in several fields. But mental health is one of the major domain of psychology. So how AI is helping us in mental health? AI is helping us, well, at this moment. If we look at, there are several AI based equipments that are in used that are being used by mental health professionals, and these equipments, how they are helpful while in mental health, when we are talking to, or when we are assessing some clients, we have a special focus on their non-verbal cues, because while talking about mental health, it's one of the it's one of it's a problem where most people are reluctant to talk about, or sometimes what happens that people have they think that it's not nice to be recognized as a case or as a person with some mental issues. So that's why this stigmatization, because of the stigmatization, mostly our clients are not open to talk about their issues. So what we focus on there, we try to figure out what non-verbal cues are there to help us. While practitioners do their best to figure out those non-verbal cues, but the AI has helped us in figuring out these non-verbal cues, because most of these cues, recognition of these cues is beyond the capacities of humans, like with the normal visual capabilities, or with our sensory system. Among these includes the infrared imaging to recognize temperature changes, your bodily temperature changes with your moods and with your different levels of energies. When we talk about, so when there is any effect on the mood, sometime when a client is speaking about their problem, and if the emotions are changing within them, which maybe they are trying to hide, but then their body react to it. So this infrared imaging help us to recognize that when the client is trying to make or fake some information, then we have this facial recognition to confirm patient's identity, which is very common. It's not only for the patients, it is being used everywhere in security systems. It's now a common device to be used everywhere. But for psychology, we also use it for recognition of different emotions. So facial recognition is also being helpful in health psychology, in mental health system. Optical sensing to analyze facial expression and eye blinking, which are again very helpful when we are assessing some clients. Vocal analysis to perceive subtle differences in speech characteristics. All these are basically our nonverbal cues that help us in figuring out what's going on in unconscious or subconscious of our client. olfaction, which is being used for analysis to identify intoxication. If you have maybe experienced somewhere at some road, it's not very common phenomenon in Pakistan because drinking is not allowed in Pakistan. But if someone is under influence and driving, you know that there are some small devices that can be used to detect intoxication. So these are few of the uses that are commonly that are very helpful in just dealing with clients. But some of now let's talk about some of the AI uses, examples in the psychology that we that are internationally being worked out under some larger projects. AI has been used as an expert system, and when we talk about expert systems are these are the best. The expert systems are basically based on the information collected from experts based on their experiences and knowledge, and then this information is transferred into a system which then help us in dealing with different problems, because there could be how expert systems are different than just consulting an expert. When you go to an expert, the expert may have one expertise in one specialty, but when you talk to an expert system, when you use an expert system, or this expert system are actually the combination of expertise of experts from a variety of domains, and then combining the knowledge of all these experts help us figuring out the problem or solving the problem in a quicker way and in more efficient and effective way. Although expert systems are this is still a debatable thing, that whether expert systems shall be considered as AI tools or not, but of course they do help. They are doing some better job in working out with problems to solve the problems. So expert systems, in our opinion, are the one of the effective use of AI. Then there are these virtual worlds, virtual reality that we call virtual reality. Is most of you, from those who have a background of microelectronics or AI, they probably know about those virtual world phenomena, virtual world things. They are being used again in multiple things, but we in psychology are using some virtual reality therapies. So virtual reality therapies are very helpful because and how they help is there are some psychological intervention where we want our client to experience the situation from which they feel fear or anxiety, the situation that may create anxiety. For instance, some people have stage anxiety, that they feel like they have the anxiety symptoms whenever they have to present on stage. They have to speak to people. There are several type of phobias and fears that can actually be effectively treated using these virtual reality therapies, because virtual reality therapy that that is even being now practiced in Pakistan. That is, virtual reality therapy provide us a safe environment to to make our client experience the situation which is otherwise threatening to them. So virtual reality theories are really, or therapies are really being used as effective tool of AI in psychology. Gaming, is another tool. Now gaming is used as some of the gaming is being used in some of the interventions programs, um, uh, particularly for some of the chronic diseases. The gaming is actually helpful in improving adherence. This is what research has shown us, like some research which has been conducted on chronic diseases, chronic disorders. It showed that while using some gaming phenomena, introducing some gaming phenomena into the treatment or into the intervention program, help us in improving adherence to treatment or following the treatment plan that is suggested by a medical expert or a psychologist or a physician. Um, uh, Expert systems, when we was talking about expert systems are really helpful. They includes like simply from the rule-based logic to making decision with some fuzzy information. So some, even with some incomplete information, it has been still, studies have shown us that with some incomplete information, still AI, these expert systems from the AI are helpful in diagnosing very precisely. So all of you might know about these Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistants type apps, which are being used. They not really as a replacement of the counselors, but they are with some, they are somewhat helpful in but there are some uses of these apps as therapists also. Virtual world has been virtual reality has been effectively studied, and we already know from several studies that it is helpful in determining well-being of people with, particularly with psychological problem. There is also there is also an extended form of virtual reality that we call augmented virtual reality, that is also being used for being used in interventions that have been developed by psychologists. That augmented virtual reality actually is something like we use the benefits or flexibility of the virtual reality, but then the benefits of exposure therapy that we use in psychology. And it has been tested for anxiety, fear, phobias, and has been now in practice with enough empirical evidences. There is a list of some projects that I have listed over here on the slides. These projects are already there. We are not talking about anything from the future, or we are not talking about some science fictions. Some of the projects that I'm discussing over here, like detection and computational analysis of psychological signals, is there for several years from the Defense Applied Research Project Agency. Then at MIT, there is a laboratory, computer science and artificial intelligence, that is working on merger of this um, intelligence and some psychological theories into computer science. Watson Health is a product by IBM, which is a health system supporting patients and the physician, and it's actually a wider system that is helpful for a variety of healthcare professionals, including psychologists and physicians, and it is serving as um, a contact system between the expert and the end user. Interestingly, this Watson Health is an effective tool for diagnosis. Particularly, diagnosis is one of the problem that has been that has been an issue for particularly for psychological cases, because psychologist has been struggling with diagnosis for there is always a debate on the accuracy of the diagnosis, but Watson Health has shown some promising results to solve this issue. Then there is this RP Vita from InTouch Health that is also a multidisciplinary support system. It's again, it's a robot that has been approved by FDA, Federal Drug Regulatory Authority of USA. That this has been also shows this this system has shown its effectiveness in facilitating the health system. There is another commonly used mental health diagnostic expert system, which has also shown some evidences of effective use of AI in a health system. AI is one of the tools that we are using in psychological testing for several for several years by now. It is because AI help us in managing data, collecting data, analyzing data, testing it, and then evaluating it to predict human behavior. There are some examples that I have added on my slides, like when it was used to understand the data from 707 patients with suicidal tendencies. It was identified that the indicators that it collected, and for the patients or for the people with suicide tendencies, and then when interventions was applied for these indicators that the program suggested, it substantially reduced the risk of suicide, and it improved psychological well-being, feeling of self-worth, and reasons for living to these clients. Similarly, there was another study that created a model that used fuzzy logic to emulate psychiatric diagnosis. And again, this system, this model worked effectively and gave very precise diagnosis, even using the incomplete knowledge, which is actually the major issue in psychological and psychiatric cases, that we sometimes do not get all the information to diagnose because of the reluctance of the patients to not share their information. Cognitive psychology is the basis of AI. I must say, AI and cognitive psychology share similar aims to understand the nature of intelligent behavior. If you look at the information process theories, they are basically from cognitive psychology. Um, and then AI is transforming those cognitive psychology theories to create um, machines that can mimic the behavior of actually the intelligent behavior of humans. Cognitive psychology is really there is a scope between cognitive psychology and AI to continue develop um, for some applicable things. Now I will just show you some of the AI-based psychology apps which are they available there. You can download these apps from Play Store, and also from Apple Store. These I listed these four apps because these four apps have shown better results. Boot, these are the chat bots that um, are facilitating some of the counselors or psychologist responsibilities. Boot was introduced in 2019 at the Google Play. It's an award winner chatbot that encourages the user to think through situations using tools inspired by cognitive behavioral therapy. So it's the CBT is being transferred into a chatbot that is now instead of a human. If sometimes if a client is not comfortable with sharing their problem to another human, so the chatbot is something that helps these type of clients, that they feel safer and that they feel less insecure to um, discuss their issue. And then this chatbot, this particularly when we talk about Weebot, it's because it follow the principles of cognitive behavior therapy. So it has proved, it has shown that if it effectively deals some of the cases, um, particularly when there are mood issues. So this chatbot is effective in tracking moods, and it has shown that the positive changes are there in days or weeks. Um, Uper is another chatbot that is also helpful in treating with psychological issues like stress, anxiety, and depression. This app uses techniques from several therapies, including CBT and mindfulness. Mindfulness is an emerging therapy that we are using to treat several of the issues, psychological and psychiatric issues. So this chatbot monitors and improves mental health through a series of brief conversations. Clients are not really bored while using this chatbot. Replica is another AI tool, AI-powered chatbot that provides an emotional connection and virtual friendship to support people going through depression, anxiety, and some troublesome time if feeling loneliness or issues with their life stress issues from their profession or even from their family. TESS is the final chatbot that I'm going to discuss. TESS is a web-based mental health chatbot. It is not an app, but it is because it is a web-based chatbot, so it can be used with any other app, like you can use it in Facebook Messenger or SMS or web browser, through web browser. It also promotes resilience in the clients in its users. So these are few of the examples of AI and how they are helping psychologists or making the job of a psychologist easier. Sometimes people fear that these AI tools may be overcoming our life and maybe taking our jobs, but that is not true. They are actually increasing precision and improving the capacity of improving capacity and efficacy of psychological intervention. So it's always a good idea that you should be using these AI tools in combination with the traditional treatments. Looking at the career opportunities between for the people who are interested in AI and psychology, there are some AI and psychology degree programs offered at different universities, and then there is a huge demand in the market with people having AI background and some psychology knowledge. Um, the five of these program I listed over here is computational neuroscience and cognition and AI. This is an MSc program offered by University of Nottingham at UK School of Psychology. It's an interdisciplinary program that combines aspects of psychology, mathematics, and computer science. The digital health is one of the emerging field, and MSc in digital health is being offered at Bournemouth University, UK, Faculty of Science and Technology. This program teaches students how to personalize and promote digital health through chatbots, wearables, technologies, and Internet of Medical Things. Artificial intelligence, cognitive sciences, MSc is being offered at Vrije University Amsterdam. This is the university from where I completed my PhD. This MSc program is again a multidisciplinary approach to learn about mind and cognition, and researchers and staff are drawn from various backgrounds, including psychology, AI, math, philosophy, and neuroscience. Cognitive Sciences BSc is being offered at Carnegie Mellon University, Pennsylvania, United States. This interdisciplinary degree combines psychology, AI, neuroscience, and philosophy with the shared goal of understanding intelligence. And finally, cognitive sciences in education is there is BSc, MA, and PhD being offered at Columbia University in cognitive sciences in education. This program is aimed to explore the cognitive mechanism that underpin learning and thinking. And if we understand the phenomena of learning and thinking, then we can replicate it into the machines, of course. So these programs are based with these programs have been developed focusing on the futuristic needs that our society is going to have. And hence these programs have a real good market in future. So concluding my talk, the takeaway message that I want to give you that is technology has the potential to provide new type of treatments, including virtual and augmented reality that we talked about, and the ability to engage with populations that are difficult to reach to engage with. Otherwise, like in real world, if we cannot contact with some people who are difficult to be approached, technology is there to support us. However, there are inevitable ethical issues. At present, there is limited guidance on the development of such tools or how to integrate them with the work of health professionals. So what we should do is, what I propose is, let's join hand and promote a multidisciplinary approach to make the world a better place to live. With this, I would like to thank you all for your attention to listen to me. If there is any question, you may ask.
So please, in audience, if somebody wants to ask a question, please speak it, sir. For all the students, all professors and colleagues. You can write in the text box. I can speak for you. In the chat, you can write it down. So nice kind of a presentation. I think I really impressed by the presentation. I think we have a discussion on all these 2 days on the technology and AI, but the way you describes the link between psychology and of course with the AI and this is actually very unique. And I think we really thank you for your good time. So, sir, one student, Asma Gilani, I wonder hearing you after ages. It is really unique and interesting topic. Yeah, this is, ma'am. You can ask some questions, please. Probably, Raksa, maybe she's your student or maybe your colleagues.
Yes, sir. I recognize her. Asma Gilani is our student. Thank you, Asma, for listening to the talk. And I appreciate you to be there. I hope, sir, that in future we are going to have some collaboration between our departments to work out on some nice projects.
Sir, there is one student, Tanveer Qayyum, have a question. How can we work on mathematics background of AI?
Mathematics is like if AI, most of the AI uses algorithms from mathematics, as you know that the computational languages and mathematics has, of course, if we listen from the experts, they say that the mathematics is actually the language of the universe. The universe works mathematically. The law of physics, their background is mathematics. So whatever is in the universe, same is replicated in humans' life. And we have to figure out these mathematical laws and how we can then translate them into artificial intelligence to help us in our social life, basically. So everything we do is to improve the social life, the life that we live in this world. And mathematics is the mathematics background. With the mathematic background, those people who have the mathematic background, I think they can think differently about the problems that maybe as a psychologist I may think about, or someone with a medical profession, or someone with a computer degree may think about. When we combine people with different people from the different discipline, and then we work like if we say that mathematics people are just there to solve the mathematical equations or problems, that is something that they do in their routine practice. But when a mathematician is trying to solve a problem of any individual in their real life, like any dispute where they have some problem, like you might know that there are several examples that there is a problem without a solution, and then some person with some mathematical abilities tried to figure it out, and then it made the life of people is easier. So people with mathematical background have the capacity to think differently about the problem, and that is the ability that they can use, or that can be used from and I would not only say about people with mathematics background, but people from any background, knowledge with expertise from any background will be helpful when we combine, we sit together and we talk about same problem, and then we get solution from focusing on different perspective, from different aspects, from different angles, and then we actually come up with unique solutions, very effective solutions.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Saab. There is another question, one from our बड़े बहुत करीबी आपके भी जानने वाले हैं, Dr. Naveed Ahmed from the pharmacy. He have a comment for you, Dr. Saab. Nice talk. However, kindly throw some light on diagnosis of other issues except psychology using AI, if possible. I mean other diseases. Can we go for this using AI?
Dr. Naveed, thank you very much for your appreciation. The system that I talked about, some of the system like this Watson Health, these are the systems that are available for physiological diseases also. So if you, and there are several other actually, if you look at those systems, the AI is being effectively used for diagnosis of the diagnosis has actually improved, the precision of diagnosis. If you look at the accuracy of the diagnosis, initially it was with all these different testing facilities that are actually backed by AI. The diagnosis has become more reliable and more accurate, I must say, and there are several tools that are available for AI-based tools, if we talk about. So maybe if you go to just go to Watson Health and use it for your, let's say you add your symptoms, you will figure out, you will find some accurate diagnosis most of the time. So, and these are FDA approved diagnostic tools. So I think they are really helpful.
Okay, another question from Sidra Shafiq. Can we use AI tool for data collection for research?
Oh yes, of course. AI, while you can create any smart programs which are capable to collect data, you just send links. Google Forms is one of the easiest way, but then that is not, of course, that is not really AI backed, but there are experiments that we use in cognitive psychology. We create some small experiments, and these are actually these experiments are executable programs that anyone, it's like an app that anyone can download and install, and then they interact with that app. While they are interacting with that app, the data is collected on the server to us, and then we can use that data. So you can collect data for experimental studies, and you can collect data for surveys with these Google Forms type tools. Data collection is no more a problem, I think.
Dr. Thank you. Dr. Another question is from Dr. Asma Munir. Assalamu alaikum. My question is that, is it possible in future that we can conduct therapeutic treatment with the help of AI, such as counseling?
Asma, sure. As I already discussed, there are several chatbots right now available for some minor issues. And there are people who are working, and actually we need people who have some interest in AI, and then who have expertise in psychology, because people with psychology background having interest in AI are lacking actually. So that's why uh, um, the application of the hepatic intervention knowledge is not being transferred into AI. But it's not a rare phenomenon that people are not absolutely not there. There are there are some big projects initiated for this purpose, and in future we can expect some of the expert systems, some of the these AI-based systems that will be helpful um, uh, in providing interventions, therapeutic interventions to individuals. Even we are expecting for some preventive intervention also that will be available for to a larger community like schools and particularly the special education system. Uh, Future is like it's not no more a dream. I would say it's you. I hope that we will see it getting into a reality in our own life.
There is one other question, Dr. Saab. There's somebody with name J. Thank you for your time, Dr. Malik. Human beings are very complex, and all things have related to them can be in black and white. And would AI be able to be compatible with such fragile aspect of human beings?
That is a very interesting argument. That's of course one of the ethical issue also. Um, it's true. Humans are complex and very unpredictable. But there are like we have some psychological theories that explains part of human behavior, and working on those theories using the AI tools is facilitating somewhat. At least we can expect maybe that in future, like we are not sure about 100% precision. We are not sure even if a human is being dealt by another human. A therapist that we say is still the same. I mean, you can be similarly misunderstood by a therapist, and you can be similarly misunderstood by an AI-based program. But that doesn't mean that AI programs or AI-based tools should be avoided. We should make them more safer. We should make them more sensitive. We should. It will only happen when we work together. When people from different fields, particularly when we are talking about AI, people from microelectronics, from computer sciences, from psychology, when they work together, I hope that there will be a time that we are able to provide even better system than that will also avoid some human errors that we now see in most of the machine systems. Like most of the AI system is designed to avoid human errors.
Thank you, Dr. Saab, and so kind of you. And we really love to work with you. Of course, that will be, I think, wonderful experience. और आपके बहुत इंसाइट जो आर्गुमेंट है हमारे लिए, तो एक एक आपका जो लफ्ज बोला हुआ है वो बड़ा यूजफुल है, because how you see the things is actually is a really different as compared to for us, because we say some other speak from other perspective. Thank you so much. So our next section is going to come up. Thank you for your time and for your, even though you are away from, I mean,